Chin by examining his S-rank, Demon Hunter, profession scroll. The quest requires him to enter the abyss and kill a large number of demons. Deciding he's not yet ready, he puts it aside for now. He is at Mingming's apartment, where she is frustrated with her physical weakness in the real world. She wants to train harder, but Chin Bai advises her to focus on leveling up and mastering her existing skills first. She complains that she has already cleared all the nearby monsters in her dream world and has no way to level up further. As a solution, Chin Bai decides to take her back to Jiancheng with him. When she points out the long travel time, he simply tells her to hold on tight, and then uses his superhuman speed to transport them almost instantly to the village of the demon worshippers. Secret realm. Upon arrival, he explains to her the difference between a secret realm and a regular dungeon. He enters the village to clear it again for her benefit. He notices the mission objectives have changed. Since the demon has already been killed once, the new boss is a dark priest, and the bloodline potion reward is gone. He quickly kills the new level 15 boss, and is pleased to discover that he can still use his Evolution Devour ability to extract a C-grade demon bloodline potion from the corpse, confirming he can still farm the materials he needs from elite monsters. Meanwhile, Mingming waits anxiously at the entrance, feeling useless. Chin Bai returns, having lured every remaining monster in the entire realm with him. He tells her to use her most lethal skill. She unleashes her power, and a flood of system notifications confirms she has slaughtered dozens of monsters, instantly leveling up to 6.5. Chin Bai himself reaches level 9. Just as they finish, he receives an urgent video call from Song Ziqiang. She and her team look distressed. She tells him they need his help immediately. A goblin claiming to be the god of trading has just arrived at their settlement. Chin Bai is shocked, wondering how Lord Leto managed to find his hidden base. The chapter begins with Chin Bai on a video call with Song Ziqiang, who explains the urgent situation at the Dongshan settlement. Lord Leto, the god of trading, has arrived and offered to invest in A-class Silver City building order. The investment is highly beneficial, but comes with a catch. It must be used immediately, which will trigger a massive monster siege that their settlement is ill-equipped to handle. Chin Bai confidently tells her to accept the deal, assuring her he can make it back within a day. He also gives her a crucial instruction: flatter Leto, and casually mention that Bai, another manager of the settlement, is a great admirer of his. He then prepares for the high-speed journey back by giving all of his physique-boosting equipment to Mingming, so she can survive the trip. At the settlement, Song Ziqiang masterfully negotiates with Leto. Following Chin Bai's advice, she showers the god with praise and mentions that her partner, Bai, is rushing back at full speed just to meet him. Leto is surprised and delighted to learn that the talented pioneer he invested in is also a leader of this promising settlement. Realizing that with Chin Bai's involvement, the settlement's potential is much higher, Leto decides to upgrade his investment on the spot. He retracts the A-class order and instead offers a much rarer S-class Golden City building order. This new mission requires them to survive a relentless, 5-day monster siege, but the reward is a significantly larger and more powerful city-state. Trusting in Chin Bai, Song Ziqiang accepts the high-stakes challenge. 1 day later, Chin Bai arrives back at the settlement carrying an unconscious Mingming, having had to fight his way through the gathering hordes. He is just in time. There are only 20 minutes until the siege begins. Song Ziqiang quickly briefs him on the 3 defensive lines they have managed to prepare. As he takes Mingming to a bedroom to recover, he clarifies her importance to a nervous Song Ziqiang. He reveals that she isn't just some woman he brought back, but his disciple, possessing a talent that is no weaker than his own. He instructs Song Ziqiang to have Song Gu watch over her, and to notify him the very moment she awakens, emphasizing that Mingming is the key to them surviving the coming battle. At the wall of the Dongshan settlement, with just minutes remaining before the S-level monster siege begins, Bai delivers a powerful speech to rally the defenders. He boosts their morale by reminding them of their strengths: the world's strongest walls, the wall of flesh, complete resources, and an army of powerful evolvers, including 2 SSS-ranked talents. He promises that their victory will grant them the best territory in the world. At the same time, the journalist Luli begins a live stream of the event on the Evolvers Forum, which immediately draws a massive audience from around the world. As the siege starts, the monsters are instantly strengthened, with their attributes and the experience they grant being tripled. Having just completed his 5-piece plague set, Bai now has a new skill, Plague Infection, which he uses to spread a continuous corrosive debuff through the front ranks of the horde. However, he immediately senses a strange mental fluctuation. The infected zombies are being actively avoided by the rest of the horde, leading him to realize a powerful Lord is intelligently controlling the zombies' advance. He faces a critical dilemma: leave the front lines to hunt for the hidden Lord, which would disrupt the horde's coordination but leave the defenders vulnerable, or stay and fight, risking a more organized and deadly attack later. Just as he's weighing his options, he gets a message from the now awakened Mingming. Having learned the situation from Song Ziqiang, she offers the perfect solution. She will enter her dream world to fight and kill the monsters on the front line remotely, freeing Bai to hunt the Lord. He accepts and asks her to use her dream abilities to find the hidden commander. Mingming quickly relays a detailed description: a creature with a huge head, a fine mesh-like exoskeleton, and powerful mental energy. Bai now has his target. At dusk on the first day of the siege, Bai returns to the city wall. Song Ziqiang reports that due to his rampage on the front lines, the settlement has suffered no deaths and only a few minor injuries. The wall of flesh has also sustained minimal damage. However, Bai believes the quiet is a prelude to a much larger, coordinated attack from the zombie lord. To protect his most valuable asset, he orders Luli to stop the live broadcast of the siege, ensuring Mingming's unique dream world abilities remain a secret. Inside her dream space, Mingming reports her reconnaissance findings to the team. She has located 2 large forces of second-stage evolved zombies being gathered by the Lord, several hundred massive, red-eyed fatties, near the farmer's market, and a swarm of incredibly agile, fast zombies, hunters, at the Riverside TV tower. Bai grimly assesses the threat. With over 1,000 elite zombies under intelligent command, they will likely bypass him and launch a direct, overwhelming assault on the city walls. He predicts their settlement would have less than a 10% survival rate against such an attack. Realizing he needs a specialist to pinpoint the Lord's location, he contacts Han Xiao, the S-level, mind control pioneer, who confirms his abilities are perfect for tracking the source of the mental fluctuations. On the morning of the second day, Han Xiao enters the dream world version of the Dongshan settlement, impressed by the base Bai has built. Bai directs him to focus his efforts on the hunters at the Riverside TV tower, as their agility makes them the biggest threat to the city's defenses. The chapter ends as Han Xiao unleashes his screaming explosion ability to begin the hunt. On the second day of the siege, Bai uses his Hellfire Engulfment ability to protect Mingming from a hunter zombie within the dream world. After devouring it, he notes that nearly 300 elite evolved zombies have already been gathered, likely all the fast-moving ones from Jiancheng and the surrounding towns. He then receives a message from Han Xiao, who has successfully pinpointed the zombie lord's location, a mountain pass northeast of their settlement. Realizing the lord is intelligently positioned behind them, Bai makes a decision. He tells his team that he will fight the boss in the real world, not the dream world, so that he can live broadcast the epic battle and use it as a stepping stone to fame. He thanks Han Shao for his help, promises him any suitable loot from the kill, and then tasks him and Ming Ming with clearing out another gathering of elite zombies that possess dangerous mental scream attacks. Arriving at the mountain pass in the real world, Qinbai senses the Lord's powerful aura, along with its bodyguards, a group of even more advanced, Stage 4 hunter zombies. Knowing these creatures are incredibly fast and favor hit-and-run tactics, he deliberately exposes an opening to lure them all into a direct attack. As they converge on him, he unleashes Evolution Devour, instantly killing and absorbing the entire bodyguard squad. The massive influx of energy grants him a huge number of virus and evolution points, and his Blacklight virus gains a powerful new blade form. With the guards eliminated, Qinbai confronts the Lord, who has just unleashed a mental attack. He taunts it for not taking the opportunity to escape. In response, the Lord traps him in a psychic illusion where the siege is already over, and he is being celebrated as a hero by his adoring followers. However, Qinbai's mental fortitude is too strong. He easily sees through the weak illusion, noting that it didn't even interfere with his basic judgment, proving his mental energy is far superior to the Lord's. On the live stream, viewers react with a mix of awe and skepticism as they realize Qinbai broke a powerful illusion. While some are impressed, others, particularly a foreigner, dismiss the fight as a staged trap. Meanwhile, at the wall of the Dongshan settlement, the full-scale assault begins. The zombie lord deploys its strategy. Massive, second-tier, rampaging fatty zombies begin grabbing smaller zombies and throwing them over the defenses. The settlement's evolvers are thrown into chaos, desperately using their various talents, like a throwing specialist and another with invisible resistance, to intercept the incoming threats and hold the line. Back at the Lord's location, the creature summons a new monster to aid it, a mental-type entity called a Will-o'-the-Wisp heretic. The live stream viewers are confused and alarmed as Qinbai completely ignores this new, dangerous-looking monster. Instead of getting distracted, Qinbai focuses all his power on the primary target. He unleashes his Hellfire Incineration attack, engulfing the zombie lord in flames. The creature tries to flee, but it's too late. Qinbai successfully kills the commander of the zombie horde. The effect on the main battle is instantaneous. With their leader dead, the entire zombie army loses its coordination. The rampaging fatties stop their strategic throwing and begin charging blindly and ineffectively at the walls. The immediate, overwhelming threat to the settlement is neutralized. The live stream chat explodes, with viewers marveling at how crucial the Lord was to the zombies' effectiveness and debating why Qinbai didn't immediately absorb the powerful corpse. After killing the zombie lord and its guards, Qinbai has gathered all the high-quality materials he needs. On the live stream, he crafts the Biohazard Disaster Gauntlet. While the viewers are underwhelmed by its initial C-Class rating, Qinbai knows its true value. It is a growth-type soul weapon. He devours the remaining corpses, pushing his Blacklight virus's basic awakening to 50%, and then invests all his evolution points into the new weapon, unlocking a powerful aerial dash ability. Back at the Dongshan settlement, the battle still rages. With the Lord gone, the main horde is no longer coordinated, but the elite mutated zombies are still grouped together and relentlessly attacking the walls. From a lookout point, Wei Shiwei uses her A-Class All-Seeing Eye ability to monitor the entire battlefield, reporting that 3 sections of the wall are about to be breached, with a group of tank zombies on the west wall posing the most immediate threat. As Song Ziqing prepares to head to the front line to provide support, she receives word that Qinbai is on his way back. Qinbai's return to the main wall sends a massive surge of morale through the exhausted defenders. Emperor Bai returns. Victory is assured. They cheer as he leaps into the fray. 4 days later, the brutal 5-day siege is finally over. The settlement is victorious, but the walls are nearly destroyed. Song Ziqiang remarks that the battle was far more intense than they imagined, and that they would have been defeated without the intervention of Chen Bai and Ming Ming. Chen Bai, however, points out the most important outcome. Despite the ferocity of the battle, the number of casualties among their people was shockingly low. As they reflect on their hard-won victory, Lord Leto appears. He congratulates them on perfectly completing the mission and tells them it is now time to build their city-state. After their victory, Lord Leto brings Chen Bai's group to the designated location to found their city. He materializes the city heart, the core of the city-state. As the recipient of Leto's investment, the right to use it belongs to Song Ziqiang. However, in a surprising move, she requests that Chen Bai be made the city lord instead. Leto agrees, so long as his Goblin Merchant Guild is given its promised prime location. Chen Bai accepts and, thinking of his past ambitions, names their new home, Baidi City, White Emperor City. The Cosmic will announces the successful establishment of City-State S001. As its lord, Chen Bai gains prestige and a massive 100% boost to all his attributes while within the city's borders. Song Ziqiang is granted the highest management authority, and all the defenders from the siege are rewarded with a large amount of experience and 3 free attribute points. Extremely pleased with this perfect transaction, Leto prepares to depart. As a final reward, he gifts Chen Bai the Golden Level City Construction Prize, a Galactic Level Supercomputer Core, and an integrated fully automatic production line. Chen Bai explains to his team that this incredible technology will allow them to design and mass-produce advanced vehicles and firearms complete with special attributes, and eventually even build marvels like a floating sky city. Just then, an excited Ming Ming arrives. She proudly reports that she has unlocked 3 new skills, 2 that enhance her dream totems, ability to lure people into dreams, and a 3rd, game-changing skill called Dream Visitor. This new ability allows her to teleport herself, or send others, to the location of any of her active dream totems. Chen Bai is incredibly impressed, recognizing the immense strategic value of this teleportation power. He agrees to help her test her new skills, and asks Song Ziqiang to gather people with varying levels of mental strength to practice on. Song Ziqiang agrees, but teasingly tells him not to train too late, because everyone is prepared to reward the city lord well tonight, and mentions that her daughter, Song Ge, is preparing a special surprise gift. The final scene cuts to Song Ge rallying the other women of the villa, confidently declaring that she has put all her new attribute points into physique, so she won't pass out during their celebration this time. After establishing his city, Chen Bai holds a guidance session for his core female members to help them optimize their future growth. For Song Ziqiang, S-level Amethyst I, he advises her to focus on non-combat skills like Amethyst Gaze, which allows her to read minds and control opponents, fitting her role as a queen rather than a frontline warrior. For Wei Shiwei, A-level All-Seeing Eye, he tells her to unlock Thread Vision and See What I See, which will allow her to identify dangers and share that information with the team, positioning her as an indispensable god-level support. For Lu Li, B-level Illusory Image, he points out a deceptively powerful skill. Perceive illusion as reality. He explains that if an enemy fails to see through her illusion, it will inflict real damage on them, giving her B-level talent terrifying potential. For Su Xian, B-level Rapid Recovery, he confirms her path is straightforward but practical. Continue upgrading all her healing abilities to become the best medic possible. For Qin Lingyu, B-level Focus Concentration, he identifies her talent as God tier for duels, but warns her she must learn to control who she focuses on, otherwise it becomes a crippling weakness. Finally, for Song-gu, sea-level gifted talent, he explains that her talent's bonus to experience and proficiency means she can learn combat techniques 10 times faster than a normal person, potentially becoming a master technician who could even defeat him with skill, if not raw power. The session leaves everyone highly motivated. The scene then shifts to Han Zhao's house in the Magic City, Shanghai. Chen Bai has used Mingming's new Dream Visitor skill to instantly teleport there. When he asks Han Xiao how many reward points he got from the city's siege, Han Xiao sheepishly admits he only got one because he died an embarrassing death. While fighting screaming zombies in the dream world, their combined psychic shock caused him to lose control of his telekinetic flight and fall. After teasing him, Chen Bai gets ready to head to the chemical plant Han Xiao mentioned in a previous chapter. As they prepare to leave, Chen Bai feels his plague mark, the item tied to his SSS-level plague cult mission, sending strong alerts. He now knows for certain that the chemical plant is the key to his quest. The chapter ends as they take off, with Chen Bai eagerly anticipating the rewards of an SSS-level mission. At the start of the chapter, Chen Bai examines the S-Class Demon Bloodline essence he created using the mysterious mask, marveling at its purity and lack of usage requirements. He and Han Xiao then proceed to the chemical plant, which triggers a new A-Class quest for his Plague Mark. Find the source of the plague mutation within the factory. Inside, Chen Bai's enhanced virus control abilities allow him to create a 10-meter safe zone around himself, protecting them from the toxic environment. Following the trail of plague viruses, they arrive at a massive sewage treatment pond. Descending into the murky depths, they are confronted by robed figures who are immune to Chen Bai's strongest attacks. However, instead of fighting, the figures kneel before him. Their leader, a shockingly powerful level 71 saint named Pushimi, recognizes the plague mark on Chen Bai and declares him their destined god, the god of plague. Pushimi explains that the plague cult sacrificed their old gods and entered the trial early, with the sole purpose of finding and assisting their prophesied deity. Their high priest even gave his life to guide Chen Bai to this location. Due to the interference of the cosmic will, they cannot simply hand over all their treasures, but they can offer him powerful items corresponding to the strength of each cult member present. The chapter concludes with Pushimi asking the newly proclaimed god of plague what type of treasure he requires.